India produces millions of graduates every year, but surprisingly, many of them struggle to find jobs. How is it possible that educated people still stay unemployed? The answer lies in the major economic problem, that is the education-employment mismatch, what we call as a skill gap. Education-employment mismatch occurs when students gain skills which are not required by the employers. In India, many students focus on theoretical skills, while companies actually demand practical skills like communication, problem solving, and technical skills. As a result, even qualified graduates are considered as unemployable by industries. This issue is very, very important because this affects both the economy as well as the individual. First, it leads to unemployment and then it also leads to underemployment because it leads to people working in underqualified jobs. Second, it reduces productivity because companies are not able to find skilled workers. Finally, it slows down the economic growth because the country is not able to fully leverage its human resource. And there are several reasons for this mismatch. Outdated education curriculum, lack of practical and hands-on training, weak connection between industries and educational institutions, limited focus on soft skills and digital skills. In many cases, students are not actually trained for real-world job requirements. And to address this issue, several steps can be taken, like updating the education system to include practical training, promoting skill development programs like vocational training, encouraging internships and industry exposure, strengthening collaboration between colleges and companies. These measures can help the students become job ready.
However, solving this problem is not easy, as there are several important barriers. To understand this, we need to look at the history of education system in India. During the colonial period, education was designed mainly to produce clerks and administrative workers. Because of this, the system focused heavily on rote learning and theoretical knowledge, rather than practical skills. Even after independence, this approach continued for many years. While more people gained access to education, the system did not evolve quickly enough to match the needs of a modern economy. One major barrier today is the outdated curriculum, which often does not reflect current industry standards, especially in fast-changing fields like technology. Another challenge is the lack of proper infrastructure and trained faculty in many institutions, limiting students' opportunities for practical learning. There is also a weak connection between colleges and industries. So students graduate without real-world experience. In addition, there is a gap between government policies and their implementation, meaning skill development programs do not always reach everyone effectively. Finally, social attitudes also play a role. Many families still prefer traditional degrees over vocational skills. These barriers, that is historical, institutional, and social, make the skill gap a complex issue that requires long-term solutions.
So the education employment mismatch is not just a problem of jobs, but it's actually a problem of skills. So if India wants to actually take the full benefit of its young population, it needs to find a way to bridge the gap between employment and education. Because only then can education truly lead to a meaningful employment.